Good evening and welcome to the 2020 year-end celebration. I'm Jay Johnson, your 90th JCI Michigan President and 2020 JCI USA Deputy National President. I'm honored to be here this evening to lead us through a look back at the amazing things that were accomplished as President Sarah taught us to be the one. As we begin tonight's festivities, please stand for our invocation and remain standing through the completion of the Star-Spangled Banner. For leading us an inspiring mindset with the invocation, please welcome 2020 Chaplain Beth Plant to the stage.
Thank you, Jay. As we come together this evening to celebrate awards, let's take time to reflect on our past year, where we started as chapters and individuals and where we ended the year. Over the year, we saw all of our members connect together and form stronger bonds across our great state of Michigan. It was fun to see the virtual meetings and more fun to go to the socials, engaging game nights, and much more. We saw chapters be creative and easily, and at sometimes hard times to adapt projects, but they did for the best interest because of COVID. Kindness was shown more than ever last year, and more cards were mailed out to friends and chapters across the state during these times. Essential workers were put in our spotlight and appreciated more than ever before. As we reflect on this past year, JCs, let's remember we're all in this together in a big family. Continue to be the one and reach out to another member across the state in your chapter, your neighboring chapter, and show you care and are thinking of them. Thank you.
Thank you, Chaplain Beth. To lead us in the elite Pledge of Allegiance and the National Anthem, please welcome your 2020 Chief of Staff, Jocelyn Mollering.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Wow, absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Beth and Jocelyn. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you tonight. And the fact that it is only the fourth time that I have wore pants in the last 12 months is really saying something, given that the third time was this afternoon. It's time to introduce your 2020 Board of Directors, Auxiliary Board and Committee members. Please join me in watching this video and welcoming a familiar voice for these introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your auxiliary board members. On the Elections Committee from the Livonia JCs, Peter Behrman. Also on the Elections Committee from JCI Rochester area, Dan Mollering. Your production team includes from the Livonia JCs, Tim Moody. From the Grand Rapids Junior Chamber, Mary Beth Schaefer. From JCI Lansing and JCI Kalamazoo, Jake Anderson.
that she was going to take a book.
And from JCI Kalamazoo, Ariana King.
Then she never returned.
Your technology team
About
from
an hour
JCI
after
Greater
she
Flint,
left,
James
her
E.
grandfather tried to
Dreher.
call again. I was trying to get on the phone.
Also on the technology team from JCI South Kent, Noel Groom. In charge of marketing and graphic design from the Redford JCs, Stephanie Johnson. Your communications team from the Clare area JCs, Michael Langworthy. Also on communications from the Wyandotte JCs, Megan Mayani. Please welcome your training team from JCI Greater Muskegon, Kara Zielinski. From the Farmington area JCs, Jamie Dormeyer. From JCI South Kent, Liz Monetza. And on the training team from JCI Kalamazoo, Amanda Logier. Your presidential assistant from the Ionia JCs and JCI Lansing, Ilona Castelline. And presidential assistant from the Frankenmuth JCs, Jacqueline Leary. Your membership directors from the Livonia JCs, Justin Roggenbuck. From the Redford JCs, Angela Wolf. And from JCI Greater Muskegon, Samantha Jonas. Here are your programming directors. From the Westland area JCs and JCI Rochester area, Shannon Brunt. From JCI Kalamazoo, Jennifer Cooley. From JCI Greater Muskegon and JCI Kalamazoo, Jamie Hecker. And from JCI Lansing and JCI Kalamazoo, Jessica Anderson. Your Deputy On-To National Events Chair from the Westland area JCs is DJ Campbell. Please welcome your On-To and National Events Chair from the Westland area JCs, Melody Montgomery. Your Deputy Finance Director from the Livonia JCs, Jerry Behrman. Your Elections Chair from the Allegan JCs, Jerry Lee Levering. Your JCI Michigan Chaplain from JCI South Kent and the Livonia JCs, Beth Plant. Your Senate Liaison from the Redford JCs, Adam Bonarek. Your Executive Presidential Assistant from JCI Kalamazoo, John Hagan. Your President's Coach from JCI Greater Muskegon, Tara Mack. Your Mid-America Institute Secondary Advisor from the Livonia JCs is Peter Behrman. And your Mid-America Primary Advisor from Frankenmuth, Steve Pickelman. Now please welcome your Executive Board, beginning with the District Directors. Your District 5 Director from the Saginaw JCs, Kristen Harris. Your District 4 Director from the Livonia JCs, Christopher Crawford. District 3 Director from Ann Arbor, Karina Townsend. Your District 2 Director from JCI South Kent, Jen Groom. Your District 1 Director from the Cadillac JCs, Sandy Bradall. Please welcome your Training Director from JCI Kalamazoo, Kimmy Tolliver. Your Corporate and Government Relations Director from the Wyandotte JCs, Julie Huff. Your Communications and Technology Director from JCI Kalamazoo and JCI Lansing, Anna Versailles. Your JCI Michigan Legal Counsel from the Ludington area JCs, Corey Rickett. Your Finance Director from the Central Woodward Junior Chamber, Joni Zielinski. Your State Secretary from the Grand Rapids Junior Chamber, Jennifer Baker. Please welcome your Membership Vice President from JCI Kalamazoo, Carol Z. Pickelman. Your Programming Vice President from the Livonia JCs, Jerry Behrman. Your Chief Operations Officer from JCI Rochester area and JCI Northern Michigan, Beth Michaels. Your Chief of Staff from JCI Rochester area and JCI Northern Michigan, Jocelyn Mollering. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your Chairman of the Board from the Wyandotte JCs, Stephen S. Fappis. And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome with me from the Westland area JCs and the Redford JCs, your 96th President of JCI Michigan, Sarah Austin.
And the 2020 award for fastest we have ever made it through JCI Michigan officers goes to Sarah Austin. What an amazing group of people to lead our organization in 2020. Let's begin with our first award for the evening. When we mention senators, we are recognizing JCs who have received the highest international honor that can be given to a JC, a senatorship. We certainly have some in attendance tonight. Let's give them a round of applause for their commitment to our JC family. Now, we'd like to recognize a special senator. The Dr. Raymond E. Doc Hoodlin Memorial Award is presented annually to the most outstanding Michigan JCI senator who remains an active member of a local organization. The award is named in honor of Raymond E. Doc Hoodlin, Senator number 3658. Yes, that's not missing a number. Who served as the first president of the Michigan JCI Senate in 1973 to 74. To present the 2020 award, please welcome to the 96th president of JCI Michigan, Sarah Austin.
Oh, and there goes my earring. It's a secret script now. This year's Doc Holden recipient is a Michigan JC senator who's been focused on helping their local chapter all year long. Due to the fact that the 2019 local president needed to focus on their family, this local chapter had to find another past president to serve as the chairman of the board in 2020. This senator graciously accepted the responsibility and has been focused on making sure that the current leadership has the skills and support needed to keep the chapter moving forward. His flexible schedule meant that he was often called upon to check the P.O. box and go to the storage unit repeatedly. In addition to his work as the 2020 COB, he's always there to help out the members in whatever way they would need. From co-chairing projects to providing mentorship and advice, the members of his local chapter knew that they could always call on him when they were in need. Congratulations to the 2020 Doc Holden recipient from the Westland area JCs, Senator number 75488, Danny Austin Jr. Don't poke your eye out with the earring.
Congratulations, Danny. JCI Michigan appreciates all that you do. Remember, JCI Michigan, the Senate is here to help you. Make sure you reach out and invite them to your local organization events. A little later tonight, we'll talk more about some of your best local organization events from 2020. But now is the time for President Sarah's first medallion presentation of the evening. Each medallion bears the presidential logo, and recipients are recognized by the president for outstanding efforts or support of the president. More information about the presidential medallion can be found in tonight's program. President Sarah.
Our first presidential medallion goes to a member of Team 96 who exemplifies servant leadership and being the one. Though he's technically assigned to the production team, he has made a reputation of being there for whatever team needs him in whatever way they need him. This member has been helping out behind the scenes for years. Over the past 3 years, whenever I needed someone to get things done, he was the man for the job. From running countless trips to Cottage Inn when we were at the service center, to always being willing to take just a few things back to the service center, he always said, sure, and does it with a smile. When COVID required us to cancel in-person Easter events, and we came up with the idea to do a virtual Easter Bunny pictures, we needed someone to play the role of EB. This member agreed to be the man in the suit for countless pictures so that we could ensure that we were able to facilitate every style of photo submitted. He's put on countless miles on his car this year, driving across the state to pick up and drop off things to board members, and is always willing to go the extra mile, sometimes literally, to help whatever board member needed a hand. In addition to all this, he has done an amazing job at supporting his wife and her role on the state board this year, and all she has been doing as a programming director. And most importantly, being a fun foster dad, the most fun foster dad any kid could ask for. Please welcome with me for a presidential medallion, Jake Anderson from the JCI Lansing and JCI Kalamazoo. Woo! Tell ourselves it's all right, somebody else will do something. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm sick and tired of life with no desire. I don't want to flame, I want to fire. I want to be the one who stands up and says, I'm gonna do something. If not us, then
Congratulations, Jake, and thank you for all your hard work this past year. This morning, we recognized the programming successes from 2020's third trimester. Tonight, we celebrate the overall best of 2020. Please welcome Programming Director Shannon to the stage to present your year-end professional skills competition winners.
If you had asked me a year ago what kind of year I thought I would have as a programming director, organizing professional skills development competitions, it definitely would not have been how it has turned out. In many ways, I think this year has turned out better than I thought it would. Look at all we have accomplished in 2020. While not at all making light of the global tragedy that COVID-19 has been, in this one area of my life, I am proud of our organization as we've continued to provide opportunities for growth to our members, keeping connected and helping each other through just the day-to-day. I'm excited to find out who the year-end winners are in each of our professional skills competitions, and I want to thank you all for making this year, for me, a success as you've all stepped out of your comfort zones and participated in our first ever virtual competitions. Our year-end Junior JC Write-Up Award is going to a well-spoken young lady who detailed the trying times of obtaining an education remotely in 2020. She has a bright future in front of her. Congratulations to our year-end Junior JC Write-Up winner, Ashlyn Abshire, representing the Wyandotte JCs. Our year-end J-Teen Write-Up winner was asked to write about an experience so out of this world that if they told people about it, people may just think that they made the story up. This young writer relayed a story of how she was almost hit by a car while shopping as a 13-year-old young man accidentally drove his mother's car through a strip mall building. Congratulations to our year-end J-Teen Write-Up winner, Kaylee Edmondson, representing the Westland area JCs. Our J-Teens were also inspired to submit for the Filmic competition, and this submission from the second trimester came from our J-Teens as they made a comedy sketch to brighten others' day. With sound effects and dad jokes, Kyle and Rose put a smile on the judges' faces. Congratulations to the year-end J-Teen Filmic winners, Kaylee and Mackenzie Edmondson of the Westland area JCs. Many of us have been surrounded with uncertainty as we navigate COVID-19. This year-end essay eloquently spoke to concerns we share and hope for the future as we turn the corner on this pandemic. Congratulations to our year-end impromptu write-up winner, James Dreyer of JCI Greater Flint. It was absolutely no surprise to me that this JC eloquently described how she found confidence in her remarkable abilities as a pediatric nurse and how that has led her to share her gift with other aspiring nurses as she addressed our first trimester prepared write-up topic, which stemmed from the Hasidic proverb, "The man who has confidence in himself gains the confidence of others." Congratulations to our year-end prepared write-up winner, my fellow frontliner, Megan Mayani of the Livonia and Wyandotte JCs. Our online professional networking year-end winner received comments from the judges that included impressive, very detailed, and appealing. His attention to those details has earned Steve Walagora of the Livonia JCs our year-end award for online professional networking. Our year-end Your Hired winner marketed herself through her LinkedIn profile, a 60-second elevator speech, and a panel interview. This individual impressed the judges who unanimously decided that they would hire her as the executive director for JCI Michigan. The year-end Your Hired winner is Kelly Warren of JCI South Kent. The Filmic competitions give our members the chance to show their creative side and basically make a TikTok video. In our first trimester, we asked competitors to gather some of their favorite JCs and make a parody to promote their chapter or a chapter project. This entry took us back through some of the more memorable music from my childhood, creating a parody that had the judges seeing signs to get members to attend their murder mystery dinner. Congratulations to Mariah Janess and her comrades from the Livonia JCs, recognized as the year-end winner for our Filmic competition.
Woo!
Our year-end debate team effectively argued that targeted searches of individuals and their personal privacy are unconstitutional and potentially traumatic. The year-end debate winners are Derek Brunt, Melody Montgomery, and Tony Paris of the Westland area JCs. The impromptu speak up topic asked members, why is the leader behind the pack when a pack of wolves travels? This individual used examples from their time as a leader to illustrate why this is so important. The year-end impromptu speak up winner is Amanda Lozier of JCI Kalamazoo. Our year-end prepared speak up winner has an amazing zeal for life. After meeting her, you would never know that her outgoing personality was the result of personal tragedy. She learned at a young age to live life to its absolute fullest with no regrets. Congratulations, Ariana King of JCI Kalamazoo, our year-end prepared speak up winner. In the second trimester, our topic came from a quote of Franklin Delano Roosevelt. He said, "The only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today." Our winner looked back over her life and explained how she used her doubts as fuel to do better. She is an amazing speaker with an equally amazing story. Congratulations, Nikki Dobos of JCI Kalamazoo, our year-end Master Speak Up winner. That concludes our year-end skills competitions winners. It has been an honor serving as a programming director for this year's programming team. Thank you for working with us as we've navigated uncharted territory for our first year of virtual competitions, quite literally ever.
Congratulations to all of our competition winners. Now, it is time for another presidential medallion. Madam President.
Our next presidential medallion goes to a member of the Be the One team who is all about the fun. I've known this member for many years, and they have served on my team before. When I was looking for someone to fill the role this member held in 2020, I knew the person had to have a specific skill set. They had to be able to be organized, they had to be creative, and they had to make sure to know how to make sure people were having fun. It was an easy choice for me because this member has all of these traits. In hindsight, I feel bad because 2020 turned into me asking them to plan activities and then ask them to modify the activities and then frequently having to cancel the activities. So many members don't know the hours that this member spent doing their job, only for me to tell them that all their hard work was for nothing and we couldn't do what they had planned. I know that we would have had the most awesome time at our mid-year board retreat had COVID not ruined his plans. He also worked on an amazing in-person board holiday party before we had to move it to a virtual event. Never once did he complain about the time that he had spent working on events that we then had to cancel. He just responded with, "Well, that stinks, but it's okay. We can still do something." John, thank you for coordinating a great Secret Pal program in 2020 and for making sure we could switch to a shipping-based process when we couldn't do in-person conferences. Thank you for all the work you put into planning the mid-year board retreat and the holiday party. Though we ultimately had to cancel the in-person versions of both, I know that you went above and beyond and held out hope until the very last moment. You get an A+ for effort in my book and for a positive attitude. Please welcome with me for a presidential medallion, your 2020 Executive Presidential Assistant from JCI Kalamazoo, John Hagan. Congratulations, John.
It's time for us to do something.
Congratulations, John. I love that sneaky little, hiding people inside of their homes, just coming up and putting the necklace. It's beautiful. And as past president, I know how hard it is to put those clasps on. You really lucked out on that question. The Local Officer Incentives Program gives guidance on how to engage as an officer and provides the basic activities needing to be completed as motivation for success. Please welcome President Sarah to present your Local Officer Incentives.
In recognition of their outstanding efforts and achieving 100% of their incentives through all of 2020, please congratulate the following recipients. For achieving all 30 director incentives, from JCI Kalamazoo, Ariana King. For achieving all 30 treasurer incentives, from JCI Greater Flint, Aaron Verbokbos. For achieving all 30 secretary and tenant, I'm tripping up over regular words now. I'm psyching myself out. For achieving all 30 secretary incentives, from JCI Greater Flint, Aaron Verbokmos. Also for achieving 30 secretary incentives, Amanda Lozier from JCI Kalamazoo. And from the Wyandotte JCs, Marissa DeAngelis. For achieving all 45 vice presidential incentives, from the Westland area JCs, Derek Brunt. So I haven't gotten to do this at all. And there's a few people that are actually here that are getting awards, so we're going to give it to them on camera. Yeah, come this way for the camera. There you go. Presidential prerogative and all of that. Next, from the Westland area JCs, Shannon Brunt. And finally, from JCI Lansing, Jessica Anderson.
Congratulations. The Robert J. Peacock Memorial Award is given each year to the top membership recruiter in the state and is named in honor of our 81st president, Bob Peacock. The award is sponsored by the South Kent JCs, Bob's home local organization. Please welcome President Sarah for the presentation.
Bob served in many roles throughout his 15-year JC career, including local officer, president twice, district director, extensions program manager, MIJC community vice president, and MIJC membership vice president before serving as our 81st president in 2005. Bob was a people person through and through and touched the lives of countless people and is remembered by many. Bob's theme of Live the Dream was one that inspired many across this great state. He had an infectious personality that could bring a smile to anyone's face and brighten up any room. We lost our friend Bob tragically in an accident in 2008. In honor of his legacy, we present this Membership Recruiter Award. Our 2020 top recruiter in all of JCI, Michigan was Lisa Bradley from the Ann Arbor JCs.
Congratulations, Lisa. Huge honor. Earlier today, we recognized our members who are working their way through the passport to civic leadership. Now it's time to welcome President Sarah to the stage to recognize our members who have completed the passport to civic leadership, earning their 10th degree.
So because we have had to be virtual all year, none of our 10th degrees have gotten to go through a tradition. And I promise you that the first time we actually do get to be in person, you all have to go through the tunnel. I'm just saying. You don't get out just because we've been virtual. So tonight, I'm honored to recognize 4 members who joined the elite ranks of 10th degree JCs. Our first 10th degree recipient from the Grand Rapids Junior Chamber, Jennifer Baker. Next, from JCI Kalamazoo, Jennifer Cooley. Our next 10th degree JC recipient from the Westland area JCs, Melody Montgomery. And our final 10th degree JC recipient of the 2020 year from the Wyandotte and Livonia JCs, Megan Miani. Congratulations to all our 10th degree recipients from 2020.
Congratulations, y'all. If you could go ahead and just give yourself a little slap, it'll be just like in person. Congratulations to those new 10th degree JCs. Our next award is presented to a chapter member or state group for implementing the most outstanding statewide programming that impacts membership activities. This award, sponsored by JCI Greater Muskegon, to present the Steve Little Memorial Award for Best Flagship Membership Program. Please join me in welcoming President Sarah back to the stage.
Our Steve Little Memorial Award for 2020 goes to a statewide membership event that was the highlight of the year for many of our members. With COVID stopping us from being able to get together, many members were chomping at the bit to get together, but still stay safe. Conveniently, your standard river float tube is roughly 5.5 feet in diameter, and a day in the open air and sunshine is just what we all needed. Thank you for Ariana King. Thank you, Ariana King, for coordinating the best JC tubing event I have ever attended. It was one of the best days of 2020 for many of our JC members. Your Steve Little Memorial Award winner is JCI Michigan Tubing, chaired by Ariana King from the JCI Kalamazoo.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for another presidential medallion.
Woke up this morning, saw a world full of trouble now. I thought, how do we ever get so far down?
Though our next recipient has technically only been a member of JCI Michigan for 7 years, they've been doing this JC thing for decades. They've seen this organization from all angles: local member, local officer, state board member, and junior JC. This gives them a unique perspective on how we have done things, how we are doing things now, and how we could be doing things in the future. This member's leadership style is that of a servant leader. He prides himself on never asking a member to do something he is unwilling to do himself, and 2020 was no different. Despite serving as a local vice president, he was very much one of the worker bees, making sure his chapter kept moving forward and getting things done by mentoring others when needed and jumping in and getting things done. He has found that marketing is an area that he has a lot to offer, both to his local organization as well as to the state. In his home chapter, he developed an online storefront for 2020 and added several new items. Additionally, he started the JCI Michigan Marketing Facebook group and continues to facilitate it, providing a venue for local members to brainstorm, share ideas on how to market and promote the brand identity to their home chapters. He also had an opportunity to continue to develop his professional skills in 2020, serving as one of the JCI Michigan debate competitors in the 2020 JCI USA National Professional Skills Competitions. He also assisted as a judge for JCI Michigan competitions and is always there to help cheer on his fellow JCs as they try something new. I cannot wait to see where this JC goes next. Please welcome with me for a presidential medallion, Doug McLean from the Livonia JCs.
Stands up and says, I'm gonna do something. If not us, then who?
And special thanks to his sister for being our super sweet spy.
And you, right now.
Thank you.
It's time for us to do something.
Do it, Doug. All right. Thank you for all of your hard work this past year. The Michigan JCs know the importance of communication and acknowledge exemplary marketing efforts through the BBC Media Excellence Award. This recognition combines the legacy of Bob Beard, Paul Ballinger, and Paula Cunningham to recognize the local organization with the best overall media campaign, encompassing both internal and external public relations through all outlets, including but not limited to marketing, social media, and newsletter communication. To present the award for 2020 BBC Media Excellence Award, President Sarah Austin.
Our 2020 BBC Media Excellence Award is presented to JCI Lansing.
You should probably write a press release on that. Speaking of media excellence, it's time for another year-end video. Please turn your attention to the screen for our 2020 year-ender. I hope you all had sufficient time to find your glow sticks and pacifiers. What an exceptional video, though. That was outstanding. All right, friends. The next award recognizes the most outstanding district directors in Michigan. Recipients of the award are eligible to be considered by recognition from the national organization. The award is named in honor of Sandy K. Likas from Wyoming, Michigan. Sandy joined the Wyoming JCs in April of 1993 and served as District C2 Director in 1997 and 98, as Region C Director in 99. We lost this JC family member due to complications resulting from pneumonia at the young age of 37. This award is sponsored by the JCI Rochester area. To present the Sandy K. Likas Memorial Award, President Sarah.
The role of district director is one of the most complicated in this organization. You have to be there for your local chapters to provide what they need and also be the voice of the chapter to the state board. Our 2020 Sandra Lukey's recipient made this difficult role look easy. As one of her local presidents told me, our district director could not have been more supportive of our chapter. She attended board meetings, GMMs, tons of events, both virtually and in person. She always made herself available for advice or to talk things through. This year was the worst we could have imagined, and she was always there for us every step of the way. It would have been easy for her to be way less involved, but instead she stuck by us and was another leader of support for our chapter. On the state level, she was always willing to stand up and share the thoughts and opinions of her members. She is a true team player, and I know that she will go far in JCI. Congratulations to our 2020 Sandra Lakey's Award recipient, your District 3 Director, Karina Townsend.
The Dennis Hamilton Memorial Award is presented annually to the most outstanding statewide program in Michigan. The award is named in honor of Dennis Hamilton, who passed away in 1973 while he was serving as administrative vice president of the Oklahoma Junior Chamber. To present the award, surprisingly, President Sarah.
As we all learned in 2020, the way we have always done signature projects does not always work in a pandemic. As most of us know, JCI signature projects frequently revolve around holiday-themed events for our community. When we had to cancel Easter events, one board member decided to think outside the box. She presented a PMG for a virtual event that would allow families to have the traditional picture with the Easter bunny without having to go to the mall. There would be a minor cost for the photo, the proceeds of which would go to support both the state organization and the local chapters, but would still be significantly less than if the mall had charged you. For an additional fee, they could also get a video message from the EB himself. The project was such a success that the committee took what they learned from Bunny and Me Magically and created an even better Christmas event. The success of this project is proof that sometimes outside the box, well, maybe this will work, ideas can become new legacy projects. Congratulations to our 2020 Dennis Hamilton Memorial Award winner, Holidays and Me Magically, chaired by Jessica Anderson.
Congratulations, Jessica, on a great program for 2020's unique circumstances. Now, President Sarah has another medallion to present.
There are JCs who join this organization and take their time getting involved. And then there are those who jump in with both feet and are doing all the things. Our next medallion recipient most definitely falls into the latter category. Though she has not yet hit her 2-year anniversary, this member was very active with JCI Michigan programming in 2020. She was a frequent professional skills competitor and winner in 2020. She participated in almost every type of professional skills competition that we offered this year. She also was working to achieve her local officer incentives in 2020 and making sure she was doing all the things she needed to be a strong leader. On the local level, she is one of the most active local officers in 2020. When the world shut down and we had to go virtual, she was the champion of creating new and interesting virtual events for her home chapter and made sure to invite members from across the state to join in on the fun. She helped us find a killer during a virtual murder mystery party, helped us brush up on our Star Wars knowledge during trivia, and also realized that JCI Michigan First Dude Danny is not the only Star Wars Uber fan in this organization. And she made sure that we all knew how to tell our fellow JCs that they were totally sus during Among Us nights. She also helped keep quarantine fun by sharing her Disney-inspired costume outfits on Facebook, always with a great smile that was contagious. For all these reasons and so many more, I know that she has a long and bright future ahead of her in the JCs. Please welcome with me for a presidential medallion from JCI South Kent, Kelly Warren. I got spies everywhere.
I want to be the one who stands up and says, I'm gonna do something.
Congratulations, Kelly, and thank you for all of your hard work this year. The next part of our program recognizes individuals who served on the state leadership team. The Seiji Horuchi Memorial Award is presented annually to up to 3 persons outstanding state chairpersons, managers in the state of Michigan. The award is named in honor of Seiji Horuchi, who served as vice president of the U.S. Junior Chamber in 1958 to 59. He is credited with originating the concept of the Chairman's Planning Guide and now known as the Project Management Guide, or PMG. The recipients of this award are eligible for recognition on the national level. The Memorial Award is sponsored by the Frankenmuth JCs. And to present this award, President Sarah.
Our first Horuchi recipient was an active member of the programming team in 2020. She had one of the most time-consuming roles assigned to her, that of Professional Skills Competitions Program Manager. Despite having to move all the competitions to a virtual setting and having to adjust the way we did just about every aspect of the process, this programming director took it all in stride and made sure that our members still had the opportunity to develop their professional skills. Congratulations to competitions program manager, Shannon Brunt. I think I'm going to do this. It hides my double chin and I don't have to keep taking it on and off. Our next Taruchi recipient has been working behind the scenes all year, keeping the membership database working seamlessly, which is no small task. His attention to detail and technical expertise have proven to be priceless when we navigated all the curveballs that 2020 sent us. We truly would not have been able to manage our membership process and coordination with the national organization without this membership director. Congratulations to our 2020 membership director in charge of the database, Justin Roggenbuck. Our final recipient was one of the most active member of the JCI Board of Directors in 2020. In addition to serving as the programming director overseeing the civic leadership certification, a role that takes a lot of attention to detail and requires going through a lot of substantiation paperwork. This board member also chaired one of the most innovative and exciting projects of 2020, the Holidays and Me Magically projects. She served as project chair, photographer, graphic designer, and distributor for the event. She also became an ad hoc member of the production team and our go-to person for multiple one-off tasks. She truly is an outstanding team player, and we have been lucky to have her serve on the Be the One team. Congratulations to Civic Leadership Certification Program Manager, Jessica Anderson.
Congratulations to these three outstanding Memorial Award recipients. Our next award recipient is also a member of the Be the One team to present the outstanding member of the 2020 Board of Directors. Please welcome back to the lectern, President Sarah.
The saying goes, you make plans and God laughs. And our 2020 outstanding member of the JCI Michigan Board of Directors recipient knows this all too well. The majority of her year has been spent planning events that either we could not hold at all or that needed to be done virtually. She has become an expert at calling venues and saying, so we need to change that contract, and negotiating and transferring agreements. She has come up with creative ways to make sure we still recognize our members' successes and have a lot of fun, even if we have to be virtual. She's always willing to help the fellow team members and has come up with some new and fun ideas for us throughout this year. Congratulations to Beth Michaels, our 2020 outstanding member of the Board of Directors. It's really hard to keep these things secret.
For those of you that have attended a conference before, we know that some of the biggest awards are on the horizon for tonight's program, including recognizing the best of the best in the local presidents and local organizations. But first, we are going to recognize an individual who went above and beyond service during 2020. Our next award is named in honor of R. Bradley Trafton, a past USJC staff officer from New Hampshire. He also served as state president, internal vice president, and chaplain for the New Hampshire Junior Chamber. This award recognizes your most outstanding appointed state officer. Recipients of this award can be submitted on behalf of Michigan for consideration by JCI USA. President Sarah.
The R. Bradley Trafton Memorial Award is presented to an outstanding appointed JCI Michigan officer. This recipient had the organizational skills and timely turnaround that one dreams to have in a state secretary. She made sure that board members got their agenda items in time for the board meetings, and always made sure that any member of the board could access the most up-to-date agenda and minutes at any time. Because we ran full board meetings virtually every month this year, as opposed to just at conference, this member was always working on the next agenda or making sure everyone knew where the minutes were from the previous meeting. Congratulations to our 2020 R. Bradley Trafton Memorial Award winner, JCI Michigan Secretary Jennifer Baker.
Serving on the state board can be challenging, but it's also a rewarding experience. I encourage you to explore the option of being on a state leadership team. Talk to some of the people you've seen up here tonight, and who knows, maybe one day you might be receiving the next award. You can also talk to Mr. Peter Behrman and or Mr. Stephen Pickelman. The Mark Pankner Award is named in honor of Mark Pankner, who served as executive director of the Michigan Junior Chamber from 1976 to 1981 and is presented each year to the most outstanding executive committee member. The award is sponsored by the Michigan JC Senate. President Sarah.
Our 2020 Mark N. Pankner recipient has truly been my right hand all year. I cannot think of a single thing this year that she was not a part of. She's been the sneaky coordinator of getting medallions into the hands of friends and family members so the recipients could be actually presented their medallions while we presented them over Zoom. She's been the one keeping us all on track of our national CLC submissions and state plan updates. And she has been my road trip buddy as I made sure I was in the loop for the in-person events that were actually happening across the state. She has been an ear to listen and a voice of perspective when I needed it the most. But most importantly, she was the dear friend I needed to get through this tough year, holding me accountable for the things I needed to do and taking things off my plate when she could, and always being willing to listen and provide perspective and lend a hand. Please welcome with me our 2020 Mark N. Pankner Award recipient, 2020 Chief of Staff, Jocelyn Mullering.
Congratulations, Jocelyn, and great work. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please find your seats for our next presidential medallion.
How's it ever gonna turn around? So I turned my eyes to heaven. I thought, God, why don't you do something?
But the past CEO and me nearly had a heart attack just now. So I'm like, great. Everybody warned me about letting Johnson have the mic, and now he's gone off script again. Oh, great. Fabulous. There are some people that you meet in your JC career that make such an impact on you that you truly cannot imagine being where you are today without them. Our next recipient is truly one of those people for me. No matter what the fancy badge says, you always need someone who makes sure you can just be you. And this member is that person for me. Though we have been friends for about 7 years, over the past few years, she has become one of my closest JC friends. She's always there to help calm my nerves and tell me I can do it and be the voice of perspective when I need it. Though many JCs think this member is quiet, reserved, she's a really strong person, let me assure you. You don't know the half of it. When I was serving as Chief Operations Officer in 2019, I knew I needed a person serving as my executive presidential assistant who would complement my crazy and be the calm in the storm. This member was all that and so much more. Serving together as COO and EPA was one of the best experiences in my JC career. She has the ability to read my mind at times and understand my broken sentences in the middle of a crazy command central. Most importantly, she has the ability to get me to delegate things, something I am not good at all. I was able to hand things off to her because I knew she could get them done, probably better than I could, and would come to me if she had any issues. She is one of the strongest leaders I know, and I truly could have not gotten through 2019 without her. When it came time to pick my 2020 team, I wanted to make sure she was on my team. Though I'd hoped she would take on a bigger role in Team 96, I completely understood that after a year of being the woman behind the curtain, she wanted to be able to enjoy conference from the audience. In addition to all the other skills I have listed, this member has an amazing graphic eye. Luckily, I was able to convince her to join the Be the One team as my marketing and graphics design person. All year long, she has been able to take my very abstract descriptions of things and turn them into absolutely amazing graphics. My logo, my medallion, the program for this weekend, and the conference t-shirt were all designed by her. I could continue to go on and on about how awesome this person is, but she's probably already embarrassed that I've spent this much attention on her. So I will end this here. Stephanie, thank you for everything you have done to help me in my JC career. I would not be here today without you. But most importantly, thank you for being my friend. Your friendship and support means the world to me. Please welcome with me my fellow Redford JC and 2020 Marketing and Graphic Design Chair, Stephanie Johnson.
Well, it's not enough to do nothing. It's time for us to do something. It's time for us to do something. It's time for us to do something.
Congratulations. You're pretty okay. Friends, we are getting to the really exciting part now. Let's get ready to make some noise as we welcome back to the stage Programming Vice President Jerry Behrman. It is time to reveal your 2020 year-end single project entry winners.
As we celebrate and look back on 2020, the programming team has been amazed by the innovation and new project ideas coming from chapters across the state. The willingness of chapters to take on the challenge of we cannot do it the way we always have done it has been a source of inspiration. The impact that chapters have made this year through projects will help us continue to pave the way together and be the best young person's organization in their local communities. We would like to give a huge thank you to all the judges and chapters who submitted their project resumes and did their presentations virtually in 2020. Now to present the year-end single project entry winners in each category. The financial development and economic growth category consists of projects whose primary goal is to create a positive financial impact in the local chapter with the primary goal of raising funds to directly support chapter programming. It can be difficult to know when to revamp a signature project, especially when huge changes were already made in recent years. This chapter knew that their annual Snowfest had some great parts to enhance and some parts that were no longer working. When planning their 35th annual Snowfest, they decided to add in a beer festival, change the venue, shorten the time frame of the project, and eliminate one of their signature tournaments. These changes ultimately blew their initial goal of $2,600 by raising just shy of $13,000 for their chapter. We cannot wait to see what other improvements and new ideas come to fruition for the next years. The SBE year-end top financial development and economic growth project is Snowfest by JCI Greater Muskegon.
The membership development category consists of projects whose primary goal is to develop the local members through personal or professional skill building and training, chapter growth and recruitment, and member activation and retention. The primary goal of this project was to reconnect to their active members and their families as the state started opening. To accomplish this, the chapter held an outdoor social with the barbecue, which practiced social distancing and other CDC guidelines. The invite came from an old school way of doing a personal call out to all their members by the membership committee. During this barbecue, members were able to talk about passport to leadership, ways of communication by the chapter, and concerns over the COVID-19 pandemic. The barbecue was well attended with 13 chapter members and 10 other JCs. This project activated two of their members, helped to rekindle the chapter's existence, and was a chance for members to have fun while experiencing the new normal. The SPE year-end winner for top membership development project is Member Reconnection Barbecue by the Westland Area JCs. The interorganization and civic collaboration category consists of projects whose primary goal is to develop and foster collaboration and cooperation between the local chapter and civic and community organizations to create impact and positive change. The overall project of this project was to continue the tradition of holiday tree lighting and provide the community with holiday activities while being mindful of the restrictions due to the global pandemic. This chapter, for over 3 decades, had culminated their city's holidays activities with an annual tree lighting. They were not going to let the global pandemic stop this tradition. In working with their city, local chamber, and historical society, this chapter was able to provide a pre-recorded 31-minute broadcast, which was shown on 12 different social media platforms and 4 cable stations. The broadcast included traditions like speeches from both of their mayors, announcements of the Business and Citizen of the Year winners, and Santa lighting the tree, followed by Santa reading a book to the children. In addition to successfully pulling off a holiday tree lighting safely with Santa, they were able to do a holiday lights contest, which provided an interactive map of houses for members of the community to drive around viewing holiday decorations and vote for their favorites. There were cash prizes, which were sponsored by a local business. By thinking outside the box, this chapter was able to work with many community leaders and 10 local businesses, avoid crowds gathering, reach more people, and continue a 35-year tradition. The SPE year End Award winner for top interorganization and civil collaboration project is the 35th annual holiday tree lighting by the Farmington area JCs. The local community development category consists of projects whose primary goal is to address community needs through innovation and collaboration, enabling communities to achieve sustainable long-term impact. The primary purpose of this project was to help support the local restaurants, brewery, and coffee shop employees. This chapter's members took a typical winter Saturday to venture into some of their favorite local establishments to buy something small and leave a generous tip to the gracious employee who served them. As we all know, many local businesses and their employees have been affected by the COVID restrictions set in place to keep us safe. All over town, members were leaving $20, $50, and $100 tips on small purchases. Members of this chapter said it was heartwarming to see the reactions of these employees' faces as they received these generous tips. This chapter felt it was important to give back to the very establishments that have sponsored, participated, or donated to their causes in the past. When the day was over, this chapter got on their Facebook page to challenge other chapters to do the same in their communities. If your chapter has not done so already, please accept this challenge and help those local establishments so they are around for years to come. The SPE year-end winner for the top local community development project is Big Tip Saturday by the JCI Greater Muskegon. The UN Sustainable Development Goals category is for projects whose primary purpose is to advance one or more of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals using a sustainable solution. The project takes steps towards eliminating the underlying issue at a local level and focuses on the next steps. During the height of the shutdown, this chapter put on a webinar panel discussion of healthcare providers answering questions submitted by guests who registered to attend the event via Zoom and in comments from their Facebook live stream. This webinar was watched by over 8,000 viewers from 15 different countries. If you have not seen it yet, please check it out. By providing global community members the ability to attend the panel discussion, this project assisted the public in risk reduction and management by providing simple steps that anyone can take to help reduce their risk of contacting COVID-19, which meets the UN Sustainable Development Goal number 3 of good health. All the individuals involved showed interest in doing another webinar soon, which we look forward to updated and accurate information that they can provide during these uncertain times. The SPE year-end winner for top UN Sustainable Development Goals project is COVID Conversations by the Westland Area JCs.
Incredible. Now, if you would, please welcome back to the stage number 96 for another presidential medallion.
I woke up this morning.
For those of you who don't know, I have some creative ideas, but I'm not the most graphically talented individual, which leads to me having some rather convoluted explanations of what I can see in my mind, but cannot put on paper. Fortunately, our next recipient understands my crazy descriptions and has the skills and creativity to turn my fractured ideas into amazing designs. All year long, he has been the skilled artisan behind our awards. He has an amazing ability to create visual works of art that hopefully convey to the recipients just how amazing their accomplishments have been. The countless hundreds of hours he has spent selecting wood, sanding, burning, varnishing, and crafting these awards is a testament to how much he cares about making sure the JCI Michigan Awards are the best. All this while remodeling a home and having an adorable son to take up his attention. Additionally, this member has been running our JCI Michigan swag shop, a monumental task in 2020 as COVID created all sorts of issues with vendors being able to create and ship products reliably. He's done a great job of keeping things updated and trying to develop new ways to get the items members want. Ian, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the work you have put into our awards this year. I know it was not a small task, and it means the world to me that despite everything else that had to change this year, we were still able to put amazing awards together for our members who are going above and beyond. Please welcome with me from JCI Kalamazoo, our 2020 awards guru and birthday boy, Ian Knockreiner.
But I'm sick and tired of life with no desire. I don't want to flame, I want to fire. I want to be the one who stands up and says,
Congratulations, Ian. And, you may have missed it earlier, but we were talking about your wood, and it was fantastic. We were wondering, is it rich mahogany? Does it have that like crisp smell to it, or, solid oak? But thank you for providing wood for the Michigan JCs. And now I would like to welcome Membership Vice President Carol Z. Pickleman to screen the present 2020 Membership Vice President Awards of Excellence.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me all right? Good? All right. Thanks, Noel. Thanks, Noel. You're the only person I can see. Perfect. All right. The Membership Vice President Award of Excellence is given to a member who has worked all year to make noise with their chapter. This year's recipient has not only succeeded in this, but they were also spotted making noise virtually all over the world. If there was a JCI event happening, it is very likely that this member was there as an active participant. This member is passionate about developing as a leader, passionate about creating positive change in their community. And above all, this member is a force to be reckoned with when it comes to being honest, engaging, inclusive, and hospitable to anyone who joined his chapter events. And many of us joined his chapter events because, well, we were thirsty, and it was probably a Thursday. While we were bored in the house and in the house bored, there was one thing we could rely on. The Livonia JCs were going to show us a great time on Thursdays, and every single one of us was always invited. We laughed, we shared our problems, we learned about TikTok and making cookies for a party of one. So thank you, Doug, for giving us all so many opportunities to connect with our fellow members. Not only did you absolutely crush virtual socials all year long for your chapter, but you served as a shining example of how to stay active and make noise in our organization. Please join me in giving a big Zoom round of applause for your 2020 Membership Vice President Award of Excellence recipient, Doug McLean.
Woo! Good job, Doug!
Where's my wood?
Attaboy, Doug. Attaboy. There it is. Thank you, Carol. And now I'd like to welcome back the programming vice president, Jerry Behrman, back to the stage to present the 2020 Programming Vice President Award of Excellence. Just kidding. At this point in time, I would actually like to invite Carol to give her speech.
Well, all right then. I was a little confused, Jay. All right, farewell address. Here we go. 525,600 minutes. How do we measure a year? Now, typically, we would look at our growth and retention rates first. Now, see, that's not what we're going to do. It is no secret that 2020 was not kind to our spreadsheets. 2020 was not kind to any of our plans. Most of the time, 2020 was just not kind. But sometimes, what's meant to break us makes us brave. As your membership vice president, what I saw in 2020 was over 600 young leaders working together to try and look on the bright side of life. Because we know that even the darkest night will end and the sun will rise. Looking forward, I challenge you to say to yourself every single day, today, I'll eat some breakfast, then change the world. Because we are empowered, young, scrappy, and hungry leaders, and we know that history has its eyes on us. I cannot wait to watch you in 2020 arise and seize the day, to climb every mountain, defy gravity, let the sun shine in, wake up with a smile on your face to show the world all the love in your hearts, because we believe that service to humanity is the best work of life. My greatest hope is that we will take this patience, flexibility, and compassion that we learned in 2020, and we will continue to lift each other up and create positive change, because now more than ever, we're all in this together. We're like a giant tree branching towards the sky, growing stronger, growing wiser. And in 2021, we can grow free, but we need you, because after this year we had together, we are a family. Thank you.
Outstanding as always, Carol. Thank you. So now I would like to invite the Programming Vice President, Jerry Behrman, back to the stage to present the 2020 Programming Vice President Award of Excellence.
The Programming Vice President Award of Excellence goes to a chapter that has worked hard all year to pave the programming way. This chapter quietly made their way through this global pandemic, still providing opportunities to its members and serving local community needs. But before the COVID-19 restrictions, this chapter hosted a past president's gathering hospitality suite at the 2019 year-end conference and held a membership appreciation brunch. As signatures projects were getting canceled, this chapter was not going to let their 4th of July parade have the same fate. So they held a virtual 4th of July parade, which was viewed by over 5,000 people on Facebook Live. They found innovative ways to partner with other organizations, including Neutral Zone Youth on Getting Out the Vote, social media campaign, and Hero Nation to host a virtual Comic-Con. To help serve the local community, they held 2 backpacking events to stuff over 50 backpacks for the Michigan Foster Care Closet, in which they received a JCI USA Foundation grant to help pay for the supplies. In addition, they held their annual Bountiful Baskets event and provided 80 Thanksgiving meals to local families in need. As times called for creativity and adapting to a different way of doing things, this chapter continued to pave the programming way together in 2020. The year-end Programming Vice President Award of Excellence goes to the Ann Arbor JCs, led by their president, Carolyn Walsh.
Thank you, Jerry, for your programming leadership and orchestrating a well-rounded plan. For her farewell remarks, Jerry Behrman.
Apparently my daughter wants to steal the show and is not liking that it's my turn to talk. Sorry, guys. Having served on the JCI Michigan Board of Directors in various capacities, I've never had to reflect on the year and give a speech on how it went. This year has truly been one of the most rewarding and challenging years to be a JC, and I know many of you out there would agree. It finally hit me during the trimester 3 and year-end judgment day when talking to President Sarah that my year as programming vice president was almost over. I remember standing on stage in Battle Creek giving a speech about 3 major goals I wanted to accomplish as your programming vice president in 2020. In one way or another, I believe each of these goals were accomplished in 2020. I started my campaign with the slogan, Paving the Programming Way Together, which I utilized as my theme throughout 2020. Never did I imagine how this theme would become applicable in this literal meeting and show how the chapters of JCI Michigan will not let anything stop them. The 3 goals which would lead us to pave the way was to learn from one another to create more impactful projects, increase participation in professional skills competitions, to provide personal and professional growth, and aligning the state programming area into 3 areas of opportunity to better equip chapters on how to operate as they pave their own way. As chapters were just hitting their strides, the pandemic hit, which set several roadblocks up and ultimately could have shut us down. But instead, chapters dug deep and started to figure out ways to support members and their communities. I do not think I've ever witnessed so much camaraderie with members visiting other chapters virtually and participating in projects. Also, the willingness of chapters to share their project resources to assist other chapters in trying to do their project together as one team. For example, the trending virtual 5K, which was done by many chapters throughout the state, where proceeds were donated to many different community organizations making an impact. As we continue to work together, sharing our resources and making projects bigger and better, it will continue to make us the go-to organization for young professionals that everyone will want to join. The members of JCI Michigan have always had an amazing opportunity to participate in the professional skills competitions. For some members who have not participated, the hesitation has been nervousness of the unknown, and for others, the access to physically be able to attend conferences to participate. At the local organization training school in November 2019, the programming director for competition, Shannon Brunt, gave an interactive training that took the scariness of competitions away. Then when the pandemic hit, we had to quickly come up with a different way to do competitions, With the knowledge and flexibility of the programming team, we were able to pull off virtual competitions each trimester better than the one before. This allowed SPE presenters and competitors the opportunity to participate from the comfort of their own home. Although we may not have increased the number of participants in competitions this year, there were many competitors who competed for the first time because it was virtual. After being hesitant to change the way we have always done it, I believe that doing it virtual in 2020 taught us a lot and should be part of our competitions program going forward, which it sounds like from the 2021 team having a virtual component will continue. To make the roles of programming directors more accessible to the chapters, I aligned each area of opportunity with a director. The areas of opportunity being management, individual development, and community, which were better aligned with the local chapter board structures. This allowed local chapters to have a direct connection on finding out how to operate a chapter, how to improve their leadership skills, and how to create the lasting impact in their communities. As this was explained to members of my own programming team, the light bulb went off and they said, I got it. I wish I was presented it this way when I joined my chapter. It was through our many trainings throughout the year, the expertise of the directors in each area were leveraged to provide the resources for chapters to follow the path of those before them, yet be empowered to pave their own way as well. Finally, I have a few people to thank who helped me on my paving the way journey. First, my programming team. Jessica, Jamie, Jennifer, and Shannon. You ladies have been rock stars all year, whether it was replying quickly to every email or having numerous Zoom calls after work and after kids went to bed. Any crazy idea we had, somehow you guys helped us turn it into reality and made long-lasting contributions to the members of JCI Michigan. Next, 96th President Sarah Austin. Thank you for supporting and believing in me. I know you have programming in your blood, which it makes it hard to make changes sometimes, but you listened to me and let me try out ways I thought would improve our already strong foundation. Lastly, I want to thank my husband and my family. I know it wasn't easy, me always having another Zoom meeting, as my kids would say. There were times when my husband was not happy with me because I would sometimes have more than one Zoom call a night or more than 5 Zoom calls in 1 week. He understood how important this role was to me and how I do not do anything unless I can do it at least 110%. To all my members of JCI Michigan, thank you for giving me the opportunity to pave the programming way together as your 2020 Programming Vice President. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry, for your programming leadership and orchestrating a well-rounded plan. All right. Let's welcome President Sarah for a special award.
Tonight, I'd like to recognize a few people with a Presidential Award of Thanks. My first Presidential Award of Thanks goes to a woman who does all the things. She has a passion for life and for this organization that is second to none. On the 2020 board, she was always challenging us to do new things, shake up the way we've always done them, and keep looking forward. Her youth and enthusiasm and quick, sharp sense of humor made her stand out as a first-year board member with a long, successful future ahead of her. Please welcome with me for a Presidential Award of Thanks, Ariana King. Our next award of thanks goes to a member who's never one to say quiet when she thinks something needs to be said. She is a voice for those who cannot speak and makes sure that in all matters considered, every voice is heard. In 2020, she ran an amazing training program and was instrumental in diversity and inclusion activities that were held in 2020. Thank you, Kimmy, for always saying it how it is and for challenging us to always do better than we did the day before. Please welcome with me for a Presidential Award of Thanks, the Kimmy Tolliver. The next award of thanks is presented to someone not because of the JC things they did in 2020, though she did some absolutely amazing things for the Be the One team, but rather for the person she was for me in 2020. You see, as any great leader knows, you have to have that one person that you can talk to about anything, and it will stay locked in their mental vault. That person you can truly let down your guard with and lay it all on the table. For me in 2020, that person was Stephanie Johnson. Steph, thanks for always being there to listen, to give me advice when I asked for it, and just as importantly, listening to when I needed was not solutions, but just someone to hear me. Thank you for being my safe space in 2020, where I could be me without all that presidential baggage. Please welcome with me for a Presidential Award of Thanks, Stephanie Johnson. Oh, sorry. Congratulations. I'm not used to this like tight stage space. The next award of thanks goes to someone who was responsible for making sure that we got our message out to our members, alumni, partners, and communities. This is no small feat in a normal year, but with everyone staying home in 2020, our communications processes became even more critical. When we needed to do virtual conferences, she stepped up to make sure that our virtual awards worked and has been updating our game every conference. As you can tell from tonight's presentation, thank you, Anna, for all the work you have put into the communications and technology team this year. You truly amaze me every time you come up with a new idea. Please welcome with me for a Presidential Award of Thanks, Anna Versailles. For my final award of thanks, I'm recognizing a past leader who has been there for me all year. It's been quite a few years since this member has been on the state stage, but his passion for this organization has not diminished in those years. As a state president, you sometimes need someone who has walked the path before you and an ear just to listen. Someone will listen to your woes and commiserate with you. And this past president was this for me. He reached out to me many times throughout 2020 just to check in and see how I was doing. He would make sure on these calls that I knew he was not calling to tell me how he would do it, but rather to check in, see how I was doing, make sure I was okay, and just listen. The countless hours spent on the phone with him throughout the year were very special to me as we reconnected as friends, shared memories of JAC days gone by and adventures in the past, and shared the behind the scenes stumbles and roadblocks we each encounter during our year in the big chair. Brian, thank you for knowing that I needed someone to check in and make sure I was doing okay going through everything. Thank you for being a person that I could let my guard down with and say how I felt. Most importantly, thank you for your friendship. My final Presidential Award of Thanks goes to past president number 84, Brian Coker. It doesn't need to be displayed.
Earlier today, we learned the top civic leadership certification local organization of the third trimester. It is now time to reveal the top CLC local organizations of 2020. President Sarah.
Participation in the Civic Leadership Certification places local organizations on a path for success. We would like to recognize the top CLC local organizations for 2020. In fifth place, JCI Kalamazoo. In fourth place, JCI Greater Muskegon. In third place, the Westland area JCs. And then there were two. The second place 2020 Civic Leadership Certification Chapter, the Livonia JCs. And your 2020 #1 CLC organization, the Wyandotte JCs.
Congratulations to our top civic leadership chapters for 2020. 5-minute dance break. Play some real music. Play me out, Johnny.
Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it.
And thank you for the dance off there. That was pretty incredible. At this point in time, we'd like to welcome the lady who spent most of her time behind the scenes this year to give her farewell speech. Your 2020 Chief Operations Officer, Beth Michaels.
Thank you for lowering the mic. Hello, JCI Michigan. So last fall of 2019, when Sarah came up to me and asked if I wanted to be her, or if I would be her chief operations officer, I thought, yeah, that'd be something cool. My degree's in hospitality. I worked in hotels for 10 years. I can work with hotels. Little did I know what 2020 was going to be like. I thought it'd be easy. I'd have to write 3 contracts, and that was all. Yeah, no. I rewrote contracts, did addendums, rewrote more contracts. Yeah, but in the end, it all turned out fun. Knowing what I did, what impact we made, and how we went from T1, how we had conference over the span of 4 weekends for like 2 hours every weekend. In year end in T3, we did it all in 1 day. How we've come along and what we've achieved is amazing. And just to see it all happen with the team that we had doing it, it was awesome. Personally, I'd like to thank a couple people. Sarah, for being there when I was like, had some crazy ideas. Call her. I'm sure there were some eye rolls. Lies. Jocelyn, for when I call you, like, can you do this? I don't know how to do this. Google Forms and me don't get along. Jocelyn knows this. My team, this was an odd year. You didn't really get to do much, but knowing that you were there for me and helping with conference, being the medallion hunters, medallion seekers, was fun. And thank you for doing it. I don't know. So really, this year wasn't what I thought it would be, but it ended up being pretty cool. And it was fun, a great year. We did a lot of cool things, and I was glad to be a part of it. And I'm excited to see what Carol can do in 2021 with, I know they're not calling them conferences anymore. I don't remember what they're calling them, but seeing with what she's going to do with conferences and what she can do. Thank you for the opportunity, Sarah, and I look forward to serving next year.
Thank you, Beth, for all of your hard work during this crazy year. President Sarah, if you would so kindly come back to the stage for the presentation of our next award. The next award is named in honor of Tom Stark, an Ypsilanti area JC who joined their local organization in 1986 and served in multiple roles, including director, management vice president, and membership vice president. This award is sponsored by the Wyandotte JCs. The Tom Stark Memorial Award is presented annually to up to 10 outstanding local vice presidents in the state. Candidates for the award submitted an application and were interviewed by a panel of judges consisting of some very old friends. Not that they're very old, just very old friends. Sorry, friends. Wendy Taylor, LeVar Harris, and Chris Colley.
I want to once again thank our Stark judges. I truly appreciate the time you spent on the Stark selection process this year as we went fully virtual for the first time ever. And now it's time to find out who passed the judges' tests. Our first Stark Award recipient from JCI Kalamazoo, Tina Fooster. Our next Tom Stark Award winner from JCI Lansing, Jessica Anderson. We can restage it. We'll do it later. Sorry, I'm getting conflicting messages. Our next Tom Stark Memorial Award recipient from the Livonia JCs, Heather Asher.
Woo! It's my wife! Woo!
Our next Tom Stark Memorial Award recipient from the Westland area JCs, Shannon Brunt. Our next Tom Stark Memorial Award recipient from JCI Greater Muskegon, Emily Morgenstern. And our final Tom Stark Memorial Award recipient from the Westland area JCs, Derek Brunt.
Congratulations to all of our Tom Stark winners. This afternoon, we recognized 6 local organization presidents with the David Lashwala Memorial Award. Those recipients were eligible for another level of recognition, the Martin P. Luthi. This award is named in honor of Martin P. Luthi, who served as the first president of the Michigan JCs in 1925 and 26. President Luthi lived to the age of 94 when he passed away in Newton Highlands, Massachusetts. The Martin P. Luthi Memorial Award is presented annually to the most outstanding local presidents in the state. Selected recipients of this award may be eligible to become candidates for the JCI USA Charles Culp Memorial Award. The Martin P. Luthi Memorial is sponsored by the Livonia JCs in memory of Avidas Samaria. Candidates for the award submitted their letter of applications and were interviewed by a panel of judges. The 2020 panel of judges for the Lashwala and Luthi Awards were David Q. Worthams, Brian Coker, and Cindy Tomaszewski. President Sarah.
We are fortunate tonight to have one of those Luthi judges here in person. So I'm going to ask President Dave to stand up here with me as I announce the winners. Thank you once again to our judges. Your presidencies were all an important part of my JC story, and you have been mentors and resources to me this year. Thank you for the time and effort you put in once again to help the Michigan JCs by being Luthi judges. Our first Martin P. Luthi Memorial Award recipient from the Ann Arbor JCs, Carolyn Walsh. Our next Martin P. Luthi Memorial Award recipient from the Livonia JCs, Kimmy Black.
Woo!
Our third Martin P. Luthi Memorial Award recipient from JCI Greater Muskegon, Kira Schindlin-Decker. Oh, I guess there is one more too. Our final Martin P. Luthi Memorial Award recipient is from JCI Kalamazoo, Nikki Dobos. Thank you again to my judges, to all of the local presidents who participated. It was wonderful hearing all of your stories. Thank you.
Congratulations to our Luthi winners. Our next award, the Betty Sexton Award, is presented annually to an outstanding Michigan JC's statewide vice president. President Sarah.
Now, those of you who know me know I'm usually one to stick to the rules. But for this award, I'm going to bend them a little and follow in the footsteps of a past president. Tonight, I am recognizing two people as Betty Sexton Award recipients. You see, 2020 was a tough year for everyone, but especially for our state vice presidents. Both Jerry and Carol had laid out amazing plans for 2020 and then had them tossed out the window in March with COVID. They both took on challenges that were thrown their way with determination and creativity. Jerry was able to lead her team in moving SPE and competitions fully virtual. Carol was focused on reaching out to make sure our members were okay and creating a fund and process to help members who could not afford their dues because of COVID-related financial situations. Though someone on the outside looking in at the numbers might think that 2020 was not a strong year for participation in programming and in membership, I would challenge them to the fact that it was a strong year for both. You see, sometimes you have to look beyond the numbers to see the whole story. Did we have less SPE in competitions than Jerry had hoped? Probably. But when you look at who we had participating, we had members who had never competed before and SPEs presented by actual chair people because it didn't require traveling to conference. Did we end the year with less members than we started with? Yes. But we also cleaned up a membership roster by taking off members who had been renewed in error when they were 41, 42, or 43. And Carol reached out to our members to make sure they knew that the state was there to help and offered assistance on how to recruit virtually. It is for these reasons and so many more that tonight I would like to recognize both Programming Vice President Jerry Behrman and Membership Vice President Carol Z. Pickelman as Betty Sexton Award recipients. Thank you again, ladies, for everything you did to keep JCI Michigan strong in 2020. Carol's on the table.
Congratulations to both Carol and Jerry, exceptional leaders. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for another presidential medallion.
I woke up this morning, saw a world full of
Our next recipient is not very well known and is quite shy. Wait a second. Mayhem must have totally hacked the strip because that is about the opposite description that anyone could possibly have for this member. Like, seriously, if there's a mic anywhere in the building, chances are this member knows where it is and has a plan on how to get it. All kidding aside, though this member frequently is in the spotlight, the reason they are being recognized tonight is mostly because of things they did behind the scenes. The role of JCI Michigan State President is one where you don't know what you don't know until you're in the role. For this reason, current presidents reach out to past presidents for guidance throughout the year. But 2020 was far from a normal year, and I and Team 96 had to deal with things that prior presidents had never had to deal with. I was blessed that this member had told me early on that he would always be there for me if I needed anything, though he also was going to have quite a bit on his plate in 2020. Going into state president's retreat, I told this member that I would do my very best not to bother him in 2020, since he was serving in a rather large national position. He graciously told me that despite being a national officer, he would always be there for me if I needed him. Little did I know how much I would rely on his advice in 2020. When the world started to go crazy, this member was an exceptional resource for me behind the scenes. Without his advice and counsel, I would not have been able to make the tough decisions that were required this year. He provided amazing input and perspective on what was happening to people on a personal, behavioral, and mental health level as we went through the life-changing events of the spring. Never one to pussyfoot around a topic, he shot straight and got to the heart of the matter. One of the best pieces of advice he gave me was in relation to my question on how JCI Michigan should respond to the racial and social justice issues being brought to light across the country in the spring of 2020. To paraphrase what he said, there's no easy answer. No matter what you do, people will disagree with what you say. Some will feel you went too far. Some will feel you didn't go far enough. But what you need to do is look inside yourself and decide what you think is the right action and where do you want to be seen as having stood on the issue in the eyes of history. That advice guided me through so many obstacles and tough decisions in 2020. Jay, thank you for always answering my calls and taking the time to give me your perspective. Thank you for making me laugh on the tough days and always shooting straight. Thank you for reminding me not to sweat the small stuff and for letting me know you were proud of me. Most importantly, thank you for being my dear friend, someone I can share a glass of good whiskey with, laugh so hard I can't breathe, and always know you're there for me. Please welcome with me, JCI Michigan past president number 90 and tonight's MC, from the Redford JCs, Jay Johnson.
Well, that's totally not fair. I have a script and I didn't see that in there. Thank you, Madam President. And I am incredibly proud of you. Thank you. So, it is now time to congratulate some of the top local organizations of 2020. The Henry Giesenbeer Jr. was the founder and first president of the United States Junior Chamber, which was established in 1920. He conceived the idea of a young person's organization dedicated to the personal and professional development of its members. JCI Michigan annually recognizes local organizations that have done the best job in developing the whole member through the whole organization. This award, sponsored by the Westland Area JCs, and is known as the Giesenbeer Memorial Award. President Sarah.
Our first Henry Giesenbier Memorial Award recipient chapter is the Livonia JCs. Our second Henry Giesenbier Memorial Award winning chapter is JCI Greater Muskegon. And our final Henry Giesenbier Memorial Award recipient chapter, JCI Kalamazoo.
Congratulations to our Giesenbier chapters. At this time, I'd like to welcome to the stage your Chief of Staff, Jocelyn Mollering.
Hey, y'all. Still awake out there? Yeah. Okay. Oh, boy. So, 13 years ago this month, my husband Dan and I joined the greatest young persons organization in the world. It's hard to believe that I will officially age out at the end of March and my JC journey will be complete. But will it? No. The connections that I have made with the members in this organization over the years will not end. The skills and the confidence I have gained will continue to make an impact in my personal and professional life. And as a senator, I will continue to support my local chapters in whatever way I can. That is truly the power of the JCs. We build leaders. We build thinkers and doers and communicators. We build givers, change makers, and innovators. I am truly honored and grateful to have had the opportunity to serve this organization in many different ways that have shaped me into the person I am and the person I will continue to grow to be. Because aging out in our organization, it's not the end of being a JC. It's a lifelong gift. Give that gift to others by inviting them to join our organization and share this opportunity to grow, to thrive, and to have a ton of fun in the process. The role of Chief of Staff in 2020 was very rewarding, and I truly enjoyed stretching myself in new ways, helping our board adapt to the never-ending changes that the year would bring. I loved working with our team, and I was continuously blown away by what they were capable of. Through the myriad of challenges, the Be the One team came through every time. If you have not yet taken on a leadership role in your local chapter or on the state board, do it. Take advantage of what this organization has to offer by building your leadership skills and pushing yourself in new ways. And don't forget to have fun, especially when times are really tough. Give each other grace, have empathy for your fellow JCs, celebrate each other's successes, and support each other through the challenges. I want to personally thank Sarah for giving me the opportunity to serve our organization as Chief of Staff for our Board of Directors. As I said a year ago at our year-end conference, Sarah is truly a servant leader. Sarah's focus has always been on the individual members and their chapters, calling on them to be the one to lead, to grow, and to create change. As our organization faced never before seen challenges, cancellations, and frustrations, Sarah focused on the innovations, the collaborations, and the never-ending will of our members to continue making a difference in their chapters and in their communities. For what is a hive, if not focused, flexible, hardworking, and productive? Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you the leader of your hive in 2020, your 96th president of JCI Michigan, Sarah K. Austin.
As they say, all good things must come to an end, and this is that time for me. I first want to thank all the members of JCI Michigan for being the ones who made it all worth it in 2020. I have been truly blessed to lead an organization of such dedicated, innovative, and strong members. Next, I want to thank all the local presidents in 2020. Nobody's surprised by this, right? Okay, good. You all did amazing things with the farmer's hand of a year that you were dealt. Each and every one of you should be proud of what you accomplished in 2020. Just making it to December 31st with your sanity is a reason to celebrate. Thank you to all of our senators, ambassadors, and alumni. Your local chapters are fortunate to have your support and experience, especially in the tough times. Thank you for stepping up to assist in the countless ways on a local level this year. To the members of Team 96, thank you for stepping up and sticking with it throughout 2020. You banded together as one team with one dream to be the one, and ignited passions across the state to build virtual bridges and connect our members with the tools to build our future so that we could dream big and impact tomorrow. You set the groundwork up for our up-and-coming leaders to write their future for a happily ever after. No matter what 2020 threw at us, you would rise up and ask, what's next? You inspired a legacy that will be the benchmark for future leaders. You're a testament that right here, right now, the sky is the limit, so bring it on. Specifically, to my VPs and chiefs, Carol, Jerry, Beth, and Jocelyn, AKA the top of the B. Thank you for the countless hours on Zoom, Facebook Messenger, and the phone as we tried to figure out how to do a modified version of almost every aspect of JCing. I could not have asked for a more talented and compassionate team of women to work with this year. You are truly awe-inspiring. To the past state presidents, thank you for reaching out, sharing your stories, providing guidance and counsel, an ear to listen, and a reassurance that I would in fact make it to December 31st. I am so excited to join your ranks tonight. To my home chapters of Westland and Redford, thank you for all you did to support me this year. I could not be where I am today without you. You gave me a place to just be me. You were there cheering and supporting me all year long. And for that, I am forever grateful. To my parents, thank you for everything you have done over the past years to raise and mold me into the person I am today. I truly would not be able to lead this organization over the past year without the firm foundation, moral compass, and sense of compassion that you instilled in me. To first dude, Danny, thanks for putting up with the crazy this year. I was blessed to have you in my corner all year. And though we did not always see eye to eye on how to handle things, I know it's because you wanted to see me succeed and stress out a lot less. Thank you for always giving me your perspective and advice, even when I said I didn't want it. Know that I love you and that in hindsight, I am glad you did. I'm excited to see what the future holds for us as aged out members together. Finally, to the members and 2020 local and state leaders, you are stronger than you think. I know you can do anything. Anything you put your mind to is in your future. I'm so excited to see all the new adventures and successes that I know are in store for each and every one of you in the future. So let us raise a glass to 2020 being over, to the exciting opportunities that lie ahead in 2021, and to the amazing future that I know JCI Michigan is going to have. Thank you to each and every one of you for being the one in 2020. Thank you. Cheers. Go White!
Give just a little break here. What did the bee say to the sushi? Wasabi. Just break a little tension there, all right? And now, ladies and gentlemen, please find your seats. We will have our next presidential medallion.
Full of trouble now, I thought, how do we ever get so far down? And how's it ever gonna turn around? So I turned my eyes to heaven.
The next presentation is for two people without whom I literally would not be here today. They have known me longer than anyone else. They taught me everything I needed to know about how to be a servant leader. My parents, Tom and Lois Little. They taught me faith in God gives meaning and purpose to human life by making sure the entire family was involved in the church, from choir and youth groups to teaching Sunday school and serving as a church elder. They taught me that the brotherhood of man transcends the sovereignty of nations by making sure I knew the struggles of our fellow man and what was going on in the world. They taught me that government should be of laws rather than of men by being active citizens in our community and by making sure to take us along whenever they voted. But most importantly, they taught me that service to humanity was the best work of life. By serving as scout leaders and volunteers for countless activities my brother and I were doing growing up. My mother taught me at a young age that donating blood was one of the most important things a person could do to save a life. My father taught me the importance of giving your time and talents by going on multiple Habitat for Humanity missions with me. My father served as scouting advisor for the community for service fraternity I was in college, Alpha Phi Omega. And my mother and I served as Eastern Stars together. For those of you in the loop, yes, that also means that my mother is my sister and my father is my brother. They taught me the principles of being a JC, and yet neither one of them was ever a member. Throughout my JC career, they have been there to support me. They have worked as volunteers for countless JC projects. My mom serving as a road trip buddy as I traveled the state. They've been there to listen to me vent when things were not going well and to celebrate with me when I was successful. They were with me in person in the fall of 2019 when I took the oath of office as 96th president. And we had planned many adventures together in 2020 as I traveled the state as president. And then COVID hit. Though they could not travel with me on adventures as we had planned, they were still there to support me in any way they could. They joined our Zoom virtual conferences and watched from home as I rode in the 4th annual Ann Arbor JC's 4th of July parade. Sorry, the Ann Arbor JC's 4th of July parade. I can't read, I'm tearing up here. They spent countless hours listening to me talk about how to handle the continuous curveballs that 2020 threw at us and reassured me throughout 2020 that though 2020 was not the year I planned, I was doing an amazing job and should be proud. Mom and Dad, thank you for raising me to be the person I am today, for instilling in me the principles of selfless leadership and of putting others first. Thank you for always being there to listen to me vent, cheer on my successes, and reassuring me that I was doing a good job even on the darkest days. I love you more than words can say, and it means so much to me that you are actually here tonight with us. Please welcome with me for presidential medallions, my parents, Tom and Lois Little.
This morning, saw a world full of trouble now. I thought, how do we ever get so far down? And how's it ever gonna turn around? So I turned my eyes to heaven. I thought, God, why don't you do something? My fist in heaven.
That was pretty awesome. Congratulations, Tom and Lois. And thank you, Sarah, for leading the charge in 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a round of applause for Team 96 and managing everything that they had to manage in 2020. Incredible. Will the past presidents who are in attendance please join me on stage? It is my pleasure to introduce Chief of Staff Jocelyn Mullering and immediate past president Stephen S. Fappis.
Stage, microphone. I've missed you guys. Fantastic. All right, let me read this bad boy right here. We're ready to read the plaque first, or do I read this first, or what do we got going on here? All right. Well, either way, it's my pleasure as the most immediate past president of JCI Michigan in attendance, and on behalf of the entire Be the One 2020 Board of Directors, to present you, Sarah, with your custom-made past president's plaque. And I'll read it now. Yeah, come on over here. Ooh, the gavel. That's all right. I didn't drop it. Yeah. Easy now. It says JCI Michigan Past President Award, a testimonial of a grateful organization. In honor and with deep appreciation of the distinguished and unselfish service given to the JC movement, and doing so by uniting our hive as one. And it has her logo on there and her 96th state president. Get your zoom in. That is for you. We hope that each time you look at it, it will bring fond memories of your service as the 96th president of JCI Michigan. More to do.
Can I get the mic?
Of course, come on in.
Get out of the way, Fappis.
Oh, my time is up.
I'd also like to present Sarah with a special gift. Since someone take her plaque away so she can take it. Someone temporarily hold her plaque. Oh my goodness. So Sarah, I'd like to present to you this handcrafted, one-of-a-kind silver and pearl bee necklace to remind you of your year for JCI Michigan, handcrafted by a American jeweler maker. And I hope that when you wear that you will remember your time with fond memories. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome so much.
Well done. That was nice. I forgot to bring that. Jocelyn got it, so that's great. No, I'm kidding. It's also my privilege at this time to present you with a very special distinction. In accordance with JCI Michigan bylaw, and upon the successful completion of your presidency, you're hereby granted life membership in the Michigan Junior Chamber. Whereas JCI Michigan is a leadership development and training organization for young people, 21 to 40, that has served the state of Michigan since 1925. And whereas JCI Michigan services dozens of communities through the state through projects that directly impact the lives of children, seniors, families, government, and individuals. And whereas JCI Michigan was led in 2020 by its 96th president, Sarah Austin of Westland area and Redford. And whereas Sarah Austin served the organization honorably and faithfully in 2020, steering the organization through a global pandemic, months of lockdowns, political, civical, and economic unrest. And whereas Sarah Austin, through her theme of Be the One, has empowered every member to overcome adversity and developed innovative solutions, encouraged and supported chapters as they navigated immense challenges and provided unfailing leadership to the organization. Whereas Sarah Austin exemplifies the ideals expressed in the 65-word JCI Declaration of Principles, in particular, that service to humanity is the best work of life. And whereas Sarah Austin is worthy of recognition as a life member of JCI Michigan in accordance with the JCI Michigan Constitution. Now, therefore, let it be known that we, the members of JCI Michigan Board of Directors, do hereby confer life membership upon 96th President Sarah Austin, along with all of the rights, privileges, and responsibilities that come forthwith.
Did you know that the synonym for confer is sentence?
Thank you very much.
Dan?
Are we good? As I'm walking off the stage.
Let's hear it once more for President Sarah and the entire B1 team. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the last presidential medallion of the night. President Sarah.
He said I did. Yeah. I created you.
The last medallion recipient of the night has truly been my unsung hero this year. There's absolutely no way I could have made it through 2020 without them. The role of state president is hard, and it takes a toll on the person in the big chair, especially when the world goes upside down and nothing goes as planned, and nothing can be done about it. Nothing is done the way we always have. But I have to say, the role of first spouse also has to be one of the hardest in this organization. While your spouse is doing all the things, you're trying to be supportive and yet stay out of the way, which can be a difficult position to be in, especially when you've been at JC for almost 25 years. Danny, thank you for everything you put up with in 2020. When we first talked about me going for number 96, we discussed the fact that it would mean a lot of days and weekends with me on the road for JC stuff. We talked about how we would handle a year filled with so much travel that past presidents had told me we might need a new car. What we didn't talk about is being stuck home together 24/7 for months on end during a pandemic, while I tried to president virtually. Instead of racking up miles on the car, I was racking up hours on Zoom meetings and messing with your Wi-Fi bandwidth. Thank you for putting up with having to reschedule plans on short notice because yet another Zoom meeting came up. Thank you for understanding when I needed just 5 more minutes, which was never just 5 minutes. Thank you for listening to me yell and scream and cry when we had to cancel yet another in-person event. Thank you for gently reminding me that I needed to write X number of speeches, including this very one, before going to bed each night this week, or else I would never get them all done. Thank you for putting up with me as I rode on the craziest roller coaster of a year as state president. Thank you for the countless hours you spend helping out our beloved Westland area JCs in 2020 so I could focus on the state stuff. You made it much easier for me to let go of things at our home chapter because I knew you would be there to help our chapter. And thank you for trying to let me do things my way and the way I saw fit and leading the way I thought was best. I know this was probably the hardest part for you in 2020 as we have very different leadership styles and have strong opinions about the organization. But most importantly, thank you for loving me. I know there were days where that was very hard to do. Days where our strong thoughts and opinions clashed, but I always knew deep down, okay, maybe deep down, that you had my back. I look forward to being an old fart senator in the back of the room with you, eventually. Please welcome with me for my final presidential medallion of the evening, the 2020 First Dude, from the Westland area JCs, my husband, Danny Austin Jr.
It's time for us to do something. It's time for us to do something. It's time for us to do something.
So am I.
Drinking a German beer with a Cuban.
Congratulations, Danny. Now the time has come to recognize the best of the best. Earlier this evening, 3 local organizations were awarded the Henry Giesenbier Memorial Award. Each of these local organizations has made a tremendous impact on its members and its community, but only one will be recognized with the C.W. Bill Otto Memorial Award. The C.W. Bill Otto Award is presented each year to the most outstanding local organization in JCI, Michigan. The Lansing JCs established this award in 1954 as part of a program recognizing C.W. Otto for his efforts in the growth and promotion of the Junior Chamber of Commerce in Michigan. While Henry Giesenbier spearheaded the birth of the United States Junior Chamber of Commerce, C.W. Bill Otto is remembered as the founder of the Lansing JCs and the father of the Junior Chamber of Commerce, Michigan. The award is sponsored by JCI Lansing. To present the C.W. Bill Otto Award, I know this is a surprise, President Sarah.
JCI, Michigan. I know it's been a long day, but now it's time for the top award. The C.W. Bill Otto Memorial Award. Many chapters did amazing things in 2020, but this chapter stands out among the crowd. They created and updated their chapter plan throughout the year. They participated in the Civic Leadership Program. They had members compete in professional skills competitions. They submitted single project entries. They had members advance in Passport to Civic Leadership Program, and they had local officers participate in incentives. They recruited members during a pandemic through online marketing and virtual events. They held regular virtual socials and invited members from across the state to join them. They held interesting trainings at their virtual GMMs, and when restrictions lifted this summer and the weather allowed for outdoor events, they took the opportunity to hold a membership picnic. They exemplify well-rounded programming, membership focus, and making a difference in their community. It is for all those reasons and countless more that your 2020 C.W. Bill Otto award-winning chapter is the Livonia JCs, led by Kimmy Black.
Woo! Woo!
Congratulations, LIV. Lovely to see our brethren from across Inkster. Hands across Inkster. Very nice. And to all our recognition recipients this evening. Before we turn it over to Kimmy Black to lead us out with the creed, I just want to say thank you so much for the opportunity, Sarah, for being able to do this. I know I'm no Jim Williams, but it has been an honor and a privilege. And thank you so much. With that being said, if we could turn the camera to President Kimmy Black of the #1 local organization of 2020 to lead us out of here with the JC Creed.
All right. We believe that faith in God gives meaning and purpose to human life, that the brotherhood of man transcends the sovereignty of nations,
that economic justice can be won through free men, through free enterprise, that government should be of laws rather than of men. Earth's greatest treasure lies in the human personality, and that service to humanity is the best work of life.
Zoo.
And that's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Be safe. Have fun tonight. Stick around for the Zoom to celebrate your JCI Michigan JC family. After party will be led by your 2021 membership vice president, Mr. Chris Crawford of the Livonia JCs. And thank you. Good night.
Love y'all.
One mission.